let's get into a review part of the series then. And I won't cut in this part because it's really late now, so I'm just gonna go for our review straight away here. And this is one long video here. So okay, so talking about this episode then. I am definitely feel a bit pretty wrong. I'm very surprised actually. I mean, I'm usually not that wrong for my predictions when it comes to anime, manga, whatever TV shows, so on. So I feel kind of confused, no, honestly, because nothing happened that I predicted almost. So that feels really bad. No, but it's like I still can't see them not using his brother. It's just like Todoroki, like Sugu's younger brother. He's just so good, right? He's just so extremely talented without having ever done it. It's like the perfect synchronization, you know. I mean, every time his brother is back with him, and even when he's back with other people, you always see him being like, okay, he can use copy, he can do this perfectly. You have to teach him. He's so good at this and this and this. So you're always building him up. You're always building Todoroki up, right? Every time he's ever shows it in, he's always getting so much praise, right? It's so hard to not see him being in the team. Of course, it can be this really good red herring there, but it's I can still see them changing this. It definitely kind of weird how the whole episode. It wasn't a bad episode per se, but I really didn't like it. Maybe it's better in the manga. How they just went to Isa and have his friend, right? And they were like, yeah, we can have one of you. It was like that was just really weird because they really had that before. Because previously they had that when they talked about, okay, if one of you wins, if one of you two wins, we take both of you. That was a deal from the start, right? And that's why I predicted, of course, that they're not going to win. Sumo probably will win, but they give his brother the place and so on. And but they did win, as we saw, of course, and they did not give both positions. So that fact is kind of weird. The fact is like, did they lie to them? And I mean, it was just kind of like this graced over so quickly too. You just went over to them and say, well, he's going to take one of you. So do you want in alone? I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I want in alone. So that felt weird. That definitely felt weird how they used how they so quickly they would do that. I was thinking that maybe it's better than manga because it felt like it needed a little more time to just talk about. Obviously, he did win. Isa was the first of those two guys. But I mean, it's kind of like he had his ace. He was ace. Then a sport that pushed him and so on. Right? So yeah, so it felt kind of unfair to the other guy. Maybe, yeah, whatever. So yeah, that felt very weird. And hopefully, at least in my Todoroki theory, I would say that in that side, Isa might be. They might say he's also good without his friend, right? That might be the thing. Besides Tetsuma and Aogi, like last year, they were individually. That could be a thing. But yeah, that was weird. That kind of weird. I wish to flesh it out more. But otherwise, the episode was really good. It did actually go way higher paced, and I mentioned that while I watched it. It's like maybe the pacing is gonna be higher here because this season had higher pacing than the last seasons. But yeah, that definitely surprised me that they actually finished this race so quickly. Not just like this episode, they actually half the episode finished this race. So that was that surprised me a lot. Probably even more that who won that was so quickly done with it. That surprised me actually a lot actually. I mean, I predicted it. I said it was going to be 1 or 2 episodes. Last week I said it's going to be 1 or 2 episodes with this race left. I'll say it's probably finishing 1 episode, but it might actually be 2 because sometimes they do really drag out on like the last meters in this anime, which I think was really bad in the last season. I was like, oh my god, that was never ending. That was the worst one that season. But this was like, it's over. So yeah, definitely surprised me in that part. Definitely surprised me that they just finished that. I guess last episode, how the Kua dies and all the brother, love and so on, kind of finished their kind of flashbacks, I suppose, and backstories. But still, yeah. And as I said earlier on in the reaction part of this video, it definitely felt like, wow, this is going so quickly. I said it after, but still, yeah, I felt that oh, this goes quickly, which probably means that actually he's gonna lose because they're not building up his backstory more. Yeah, so they're probably losing them. But also caution, as I mentioned here, when Todoroki was behind the car when he couldn't support his brother anymore, I was kind of felt that he's gonna lose now because he's actually alone, which is the two of them, for maybe another 50 meters or so, and then he's gonna push him away and go for the last, right? So he had support further, which also, I think about it also makes it kind of weird the whole who's the best bicycle guy actually, because if you look at last year, they all just like race the 3 best guys, right? They just race each other Unoda, of course, and so on, and the rest of each other, and they're just kind of fighting about it. But this year they had 2 teams of 2 actually, right? And actually, in the beginning they had 1 team of 2, one alone guy, then they always together be 1 team, and then a bunch of other guys that you sucked apparently, and they're gone now. They're gone now on this side, but yeah, they had a chance. They haven't got their names, so they're gone. 2 guys with a name for shit, and then going, yeah, so they are never gonna be important for story now. Absolutely not. Which is a little weird, because last year we had Tashima and Ioga being the support, right, and Sugimoto, but those 2 guys were the supportive of the intro high, right? They were always in every scene, helping out behind the scene as well, always. So this year you could feel that maybe we could give some storyline to some of the other, characters. It's the other freshmen and say, well, you can't be in the team this year, but you can, you can help out and be. That'll probably be Sugimoto and Sbarra doing that, but yeah, well, we have some more characters doing that. We probably will see some doing it, but I mean, maybe there's some story portion. It can be like, yeah, it can be on the, bench, like a list home thing, like a Haiku would like introduce the next manager, right? Chicken Yonin, about and so on. We don't see it here. Thinking about it, but I guess she is the manager, I suppose. The bike hentai, right? I guess she is, but yeah, but it's like the most whatever. But that's a little weird, the whole thing there. And then we're in this episode went over to Kinyo and Akirata, and they're in college now. They have a new team. That surprised me a lot. I did not see that coming. I definitely saw this catching of being in the anime again, but they are. I don't think they're gonna be much focus on them at all. Because half the dialogue was about pretty much Tenshima, right? So half the dialogue was about the main characters, right? So it's kind of like their view of the co-heights and how they're gonna be in a new team. So very classic way to kind of emphasize, their strengths or weaknesses and so on, right? Of the current, main story characters. So yeah, sure, but the city ended up like they're the new green jersey and being like, yeah, we're gonna win with this our university. You want out of school, yeah, and we're gonna beat Fukushan and so on. We're gonna beat other guys. So that'll be cool though. It'll be really cool if when we go to intro high, we first before this intro high, like the high school intro high, we're gonna see the college intro high. It's gonna be like 5 episode where we see the old guys fight each other with new team compositions. Yeah, like new mix-ups. That'd be really cool though. Absolutely. I hope they don't go into too much of their storylines though, because we already know those characters. So it'd be fun to see how they interact with each other, like how I guess that Arikata is gonna be the support ace, right, to Quinio, and so that's cool. So we can see that happening, but it's not like they're interesting. But I don't want to see them going to like their normal college life. This is very uninteresting. So it's like no, if it's going to be a team building and so on, that could be really cool to see, like once every now and a while. But probably won't. I don't think there'll be much in the anime with them anymore. I mean, usually they spend half their time right now, half the screen time right now is talking about the current characters, right? So it's like, yeah, they're probably not very important then. But it's cool to see them. It's really cool to see like how they ended up. But I wish actually can see like I wish we could see more of like a mix-up. Like, okay, so this is this team, this is Kinyo, Arigata, and then it's like that. Instead of spending 5 minutes on that, let's spend 2 minutes on that. Then we spend 2 minutes on like Fukushan. Yeah, like let's spend 2 minutes on that, and that would be cool. So we spend like a few minutes on each new team instead, right? So we kind of see this kind of almost like epilogue. This is new team. This is new team. This is a new team. And then they don't talk so much, and then we say okay. And then the next 5 episodes later, we see some more of that, and then we see okay, they're gonna race. Actually, they're gonna race now. That would be the cooler, but yeah. But I guess they're keeping it for a secret if they are gonna race though. So it's hard to tell. However, then what would be the next episode? So the episode ended on obviously Unoda showing that he's super good at going to people, super good at climbing, disappeared this mountain, it's almost 2,000 meters high, so it's a very high mountain, but he's really good at it. And this time we likely lose very easily because it's high cadence. I love the whole it's high cadence. That was great, this was great. Next episode probably won't be that good if they race too much, to be honest. I don't think it's be very interesting to see Dave battle each other, Unoda and Issa. I don't feel like Urundai is not going to lose to him, it's probably climbing, so it will just be that he's going to realize, oh, actually Senpai is really good, but he already realized in this episode. It was a pretty good moment though. The other guys are like, yeah, he experienced it now. How is the race with that bastard? Yeah, so we already got that. So I feel like, I don't know what the race is going to give him much more than him losing probably. Even if he wins, whatever. I feel they pretty much were already established what he's going to learn in the end now. So I have a hard time saying what they're going to do in the next episode actually. So the race is probably on the full episode, or yeah, I have a hard time saying the next episode covering the whole episode being that race. If that race is more than one episode, that's going to surprise me because there's two characters, and I really felt like he's learned his lesson, so to speak, already in this episode. So yeah, but after that, I guess they're gonna go to the classic summer training, whatever they do, this long whatever spring training or whatever it's called, when they go away for like a weekend train. And that's the chance. I'm still hoping for Tadaroka's not for Super Brother. Like, yeah, that's a chance for him to shine. Especially in the way that I felt, the way I'm still not giving up at the idea. 7 races, but the main reason is because so quickly you said, oh yeah, we promised both of you only one of the spot, and you were the best one. That was weird episode. Definitely one more of that, right? And I feel like it's because that reason alone, it feels like it's not gonna fit in the team because of that. Because it was like, yeah, whatever, just pick that guy. The guy that had helped, right? It feels like that you can take it honest. But that being said, then if we go back to my previous point, I kind of quickly mentioned earlier, it definitely felt like an unfair race in that sense, right? Because in this race you have, let's say again, you have two teams. So you have 2 guys with experience with each other, fighting 1 guy with experience, and he's in the end. But the thing about if everyone, it's like 20 more characters who have no names. How would they win? Not just they're less experienced, but they're not helping each other out. He's even pushing him, giving him this typical ace treatment, right? That feels really unfair. That is a pretty bad way to gog someone and race them. Say, okay, yeah, whatever you do, you should get in the first spot, like, and you can bribe the other ones. You can do what you want. It's kind of weird. So I definitely have a hard time seeing that. That just did weird to me. That feels weird to me that they just did how they just did that. And I mean, as I said though, when I watched the reaction as well, so I was like, well, okay. Sugimoto is never gonna win this in theory. Like even if he wins in the actual practice of getting first spot, he's never gonna get the spot in the actual team because obviously he's like drunk. He's falling off the bicycle after doing it. So in that sense, he could never win this. And that was very obvious. But that is prediction I was right on. But that was very obvious. The more of what spot he's gonna get, he's never gonna get into the team, right? If he wins, his brother probably got spot that way. Also whatever, as I said. Because that would never happen, because obviously he's like super exhausted, he's almost dead. He's more dead than alive, right, to get in the spot. With the other 2 guys have a lot more energy left, so they can still be like, they can race another few hours, right? So he's definitely has talent and strength or whatever, and stamina to do better races. So he will never get the spot for real, actually. That's very clear. But still, if you say the whole race is kind of rigged against him, he's doing it alone, the other 2 guys are doing it in a team, and then again then it pisses me because they said you both get the spot but you didn't, so it's like, okay. And because of that, so I iterate, and because of that, it feels like his brother still has a huge chance to get the last spot, because how that ruling of that you can be several teammates and the best of you gets it or whatever, they feel like his brother also like the honest guy who's doing it, right? So you can have that minus for him. He has that minus for him, that negative for him. He actually got help to get into the team. I think that's going to be one of the issues. He's worse riding alone. I think there's a lot of him riding in tandem. I think that's going to be the issues, and we probably will see that maybe even next episode. And especially if they do one of those, like, yeah, you bicycle for a week, you still don't get. He should be worse than doing it alone. So last year they did the tandem thing. And then we have Tadaroka coming in and being this muscular body, and he can probably win them. So that's my general prediction. I'm hoping right this time. I was super wrong now. Then I was wrong in like 5 out of 6 stuff this time. So that's very uncommon for me to be that wrong. I usually write the predictions. That's something that should happen. But yeah, this is definitely the anime that I've seen this year. That's the only first time I've been really wrong. I was like, and it felt sad to that. I was like, Sugimoto's probably gonna win, but he's gonna win by killing his head pretty much. He can get the spot, It's like he actually lost. It's like that was sad, and actually that was a great scene. That was a really great scene, and I was actually getting some tears in my eyes a little later. That was a very good scene, and this whole episode was really good. Even the part where like Kinyo, so I kind of liked it, even though it was kind of weird. The only part I didn't like was that we quickly the doors at Unity now. That's the only weird part in this episode. But the whole thing there, that scene was really, really good. Probably the best. No, not probably. That's the best scene of Yowamushi Pedal this season by far. Maybe even the best scene this year. Probably this anime, because it was super sad. That wasn't the enormous sadness, but the fact that it's kind of pathetic, like, oh god, he went all out. He trained for months. His body helped him with his flashback power up, and he get all the plot armor. And he still didn't win, and even if even when he lost to it's kind of sad pittiness for him. But he lost, he was like, oh, I won, I didn't hear him, yeah, I won, right? Yeah, he was still going into that kind of, he was so into it that he didn't even hear all people speaking and so on. So he thought he won for a few minutes there, and that fact is really sad, because you get this flashback, you get the kind of emotion for him. You see the previously, he was like goofball, but now he has been serious. And he still loses, and he doesn't realize he loses. So the first few minutes, he's like, yeah, I'm happy, I won. Finally, I have a chance. And he's like, wait, I lost? And of course, that has to be like, yeah, you better support them. You support Izuma's back, and trying to be this mature senpai, right? Now, that was a very dramatic scene to me. That was a very, very good scene. Easily the best scene this year of the Yowamushi Pedal. It probably might be the best scene of this season. Now. Very dramatic, very serious scene. So anyway, yeah, this episode was really good. I just didn't like the part where he kind of quickly explained why he didn't bring most of them. So whatever, whatever. But a great episode. Yeah, and it was fun to see Kinyu and Nakarata and everything. And the scene, of course, was a very, 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 very strong scene. And also the pacing then is really good too. The pacing it's almost too fast. Yeah, but the last scene was so slow, so I much better prefer this though. The pacing is just much faster. A bit of the races. Thing is that you kind of want the storyline, but you want to have the quick races. You don't want to have this, it's 5 minutes left for 5 episodes. That's crazy that the 50 last episode in the beginning of the anime. So this is way better. So yeah, see you guys next time. Have a good day.